Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be going over the Week 4 power rankings of the Elite Battle League Season 2, and naturally, I am not alone. I am accompanied with the great, the legendary, the irresponsible, I'm kidding, the magnificent Boulder over there. Say hi, Boulder.
Hi, Boulder.
Alrighty, so today... this past week is pretty interesting. It's a lot of complications from what was explained in the Discord and in the Roundups as well. I'm going to leave all that hard stuff to MattyIce, and he can explain that further. But before we jump right into it, more importantly, subscribe to every single one of the coaches. All of their links are going to be in the description below. Check them all out. Amazing battlers, amazing people. Show them some love, drop some support, and I guess you could show some support to MattyIce. He's over there. I don't know what he's doing right now. He's probably doing something silly the way he usually does.
Just sitting here.
He's just sitting there. Okay, for once he's civilized. Alrighty. All right. So before, now that we got all that out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. So, before we jump right into it, I guess anything you'd like to say.
He might hate me today, guys, because we are on a time crunch for this one. I'm just gonna say it real quick. I'm gonna say this every week, all week, as I record stuff. Go Braves! World Series. Let's win it. All right, go ahead.
Moving on. Moving on. We have at the number 10 spot, we have Tara, who is the head coach of the San Diego Sylveons. Currently, her rankings are at a 2. And 2 with the +1. She's currently third place in the Dynamax division. And she faced off against
someone.
And she faced off against
Detroit Luxrays.
The Detroit Luxrays. Alrighty, so alright, check this out. This is an interesting match, okay? This is an interesting match. Because, if I'm not mistaken, the Detroit Luxrays won because of the Toxapex doing, Baneful Bunker and what was that move called? Recover, right?
Yeah.
So, they stalled out the Toxic and they took out Tara's last Pokemon. She played incredibly well. Now... We have her ranked low on this one, and again, we want to remind everybody that she is, even though she is in the league now and everything, you know, she wasn't supposed to make her debut until Season 3, and again, unfortunately, because Forsaken Ace, coach of the Redwood Meowths, had his situation going on, she had to jump in. So her standings, I guess, are going to be discussed a little bit different, or going to be measured, right, that's the right word. They're going to be measured a little bit differently because she hasn't been here for the whole season.
Yep.
So, sorry guys, if you guys heard that the Google Home just mentioned that there are people invading my home. But anyway, moving on. So, as I was saying, yes, she's going to be graded a little bit differently as far as her standings goes. She did take over Forsaken Ace's standings. She took over the KD. She took over the team. But we're going to be looking at her on a week-by-week basis, I guess, because she hasn't been here that long. Do I have everything cleared up so far,
Yep.
sir?
Yep.
All right, so what are your thoughts on this match and how it went?
I think she played well. Obviously, she's playing, as we said last week, she's playing with a team that's not her team. You know, she's got to take over Ace's team. And we've only seen 2 matches from her. Both matches have ended up 0-2, and I'm being stared at like I better say something nice. She also is beautiful in both videos that she did. But yeah, she's placed so low. She's placed so low only because basically everyone behind her from last week, because she was number 6 last week, everyone behind her won, and she happened to be the only one in the bottom 5 that lost. So that hurts her in the rankings. So we, unfortunately, with 2 losses in a row and everyone, I'm being flipped off now. That's great. Everyone behind her winning. We put her at the last spot. That's the only reason why. Luckily for her, she's got that +1 kill death ratio. Ace built up that great. I think she was +5 when she took over. She's only had -2 both games, so she kept both games close. So keeping both games close keeps her alive for playoff contention.
For sure, for sure. All right, so is that it for number 10 spot?
Yep.
Alrighty. So going on to number 9, we have her opponent, Gamer Views, who is coaching the Detroit Lux Rays, currently standing at a 1-3 with a -9 differential, currently 5th place in the Dynamax division. So, first off, congratulations on your win, my dude. The Toxapex stall, definitely a strat. It's there's nothing much more to say. It was a great match. Again, Tara played well, but Max, you did a really great job too. It's nice to see what the Toxapex can absolutely do. I know that there was some confusion as to how Toxapex managed to get some of the critical hits in a row and everything. But as Hermit covered in the weekly roundups earlier this morning, because I'm recording this the afternoon that those things came out. Shouts out again to Lonely Hermit for the weekly roundups, amazing job, and Belly, can't forget Belly. But anyway, as Hermit mentioned, the reason he got those critical hits 3 times in a row was because Toxapex carries an ability called Merciless, which results in a critical hit if the target is poisoned. That, and with Venoshock, if the target is poisoned, it deals double damage. So it's quite an offensive Toxapex, if you ask me. It's defensive already, and then we have all these abilities and the moves. It's a pretty good moveset that Max has. So kudos to you, dude, for coming up with that strategy. It's a good strat. Nice to see what Toxapex can finally do in the season. Anything you have to say, sir?
Yeah, the thing is, the Toxapex wasn't the only thing he did well with. Max did really well this whole week, or this whole battle. He kept it close, it was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then he's down to the Toxapex and the, what do you have, Blaziken in the back. And Blaziken's health wasn't too bad off. If I'm not mistaken, it might have been near full, if not at full.
I think it was full.
Yeah, I wasn't exactly sure. And with what she had left, with the Dracozolt, who was toxic, and then she had Serena in the back, he's going to protect turn 1 when Blaziken comes out, and then he's going to, Flare Blitz or Flame Kick or whatever you want to call it, whatever that chicken does, and
Blaze Kick.
Blaze Kick, there you go. And he's still I still feel like he still ends up getting the win on that one, and instead of being 2-0, he would be 1-0 for the kill death. But definitely he did a good job throughout the whole match. Neither team had control up until the Toxapex showed up, and that freaking hustle Dracozolt, she's flipping me off again. I think that's more for the Toxapex. But Dracozolt missing the beak, whatever.
The Bolt Beak.
Bolt Beak, thank you. I don't know moves, guys. I play Pokemon for fun.
Clearly.
And missing that because of the hustle ability affected the match slightly, but only, I think, truthfully, only enough that it would have killed the Toxapex and it wouldn't have changed the ultimate outcome. So I think Detroit still would have got the win, and moving up in the rankings, finally getting from out of that number 10 spot up to number 9. Good job, kudos on you, and you're not winless anymore, so I'm happy for you, bud.
That's true, and again, Tara played very nicely. And speaking of not being winless, which is a very nice segue to number 8. Number 8 is Jechnician, who is coaching the New Brunswick Ninetales, who is another team that managed to snag a win after having, for lack of a better phrase, sorry guys, a losing record. Currently standing at a 1-3 with a -1, 5th place in the Mega Division. Their opponents were the Miami Dragonites, and about this match, very, very interesting. Definitely the Ninetales did not play the way they have normally been playing. It's also, if I should add, that this is their first match that did not go to timer, which is it's pretty incredible. They still took their time with the moves and everything, but they didn't take nearly as much time. I felt like that the Ninetales did a great job in being decisive and choosing the moves. Definitely threw Miami for a loop with their battle. A couple of questions that I did have while watching the match in regards to, the Arcanine mainly, I guess. Dragonites were down to their last Pokemon. Arcanine didn't use the Fire Fang. It kept using extreme speed. It could have finished the Rillaboom in one go. It didn't. So kind of wondering, raising some questions there, but nonetheless, they still pulled the win off. Gotta say, Zekrom, very nice job in training that thing. That thing is beefy. Even with the +2 Earthquake, it wouldn't go down. So that thing is beefy. So great job to Jechnician for training his team for that battle. It was a much needed win for them. And again, congratulations on the win. Anything else?
The Ninetales kind of had Miami on the back heel from the start, back foot. The way the match started, it seemed like the Ninetales brought Pokemon that the Dragonites weren't expecting. And obviously, you're the coach of the Dragonites, not trying to call you out at all. Because I love and respect you, but it seems like this season the Dragonites, they are obviously 3-1 with us having already said that the Ninetales beat them. They seem to be on their back foot a lot this season, and they're playing from behind a lot more than we've seen them ever do that, and it seems to have caught up with them this week. So the Ninetales took advantage of that, and you can't blame a team for taking advantage of a situation like that. The Ninetales were able to get their kill-death ratio down to -1, which is actually on par with the rest of his division. So that helps him in a sense if he can win next week with the playoffs. So he kept himself alive for playoff berth. All he's got to do is win next week, and we're sitting here talking about the Ninetales possibly jumping way up in these rankings and everything like that. So definitely shout outs to him. The RK9, which trained extremely well. The Reflect, everything just when a match plays out that well for you, it's kind of hard to complain about anything, even the deaths that you had, because it seemed like even the deaths that he did end up getting were timely deaths that helped him switch into something that helped him more. You know what I mean? For sure.
If that's it for number 8, we're going to move on to number 7.
Let's mention he jumped up from number 9 last week.
Oh, that's true. So, yes, he did jump up from number 9. He's currently at number 8. We did mention that earlier when we introduced him, but definitely he definitely jumped up. Everyone's jumping up a couple spots. I like this. Yeah. Speaking of jumping up a couple of spots, though, which is another nice little segue, little day of segues here. We have Lonely Hermit, who is coaching the LA Inferno, and lastly, if I remember correctly, during the last power rankings, they were at number 8. Yep. Now they've jumped up to number 7. So Josh, great job. You're putting in the work. Currently their standings are at a 2-2 with a -6, and they're currently 4th place in the Mega Division. Now, all right. I'm gonna be honest. Stalling aside, I think that Hermit came out with a very good strategy. Against the Kinglers. That Corviknight set, it's an interesting Corviknight set, and I say it's interesting because it's the exact same Corviknight set that I used against Philly Cheesesteak before EBL Season 1. So I know how stally it can be. I'm pretty sure that the ability that he had on that bird was pressure. So that is the literal definition of a stall mon if I ever saw it. Great job installing that Cinderace, dude. We've only seen Cinderace, We've only seen Cinderace get stalled out once, in the EBL history, and that was against, if my memory serves me right, the only time that that a Cinderace got stalled out was against the Braviary week 5, if I believe, against the Dialga. So they got stalled out there. And of course, the only other time that Cinderace got countered was week 3 of season 1 against Crobat when the Ludicolo took it out.
Ludicolo!
So the fact that everyone is able to adapt and come up with strategies to counter such a Pokemon is great. Again, that's an awesome strategy. It worked. I'm a fan of the Corviknight. Great job on that one. Anything on that, sir?
Honestly, when disagreements, I know how you feel about the stall, but when you're looking at trying to get a win, keep yourself alive for playoffs, he openly admitted in the match, look, I've got to stall or I'm going to lose, so he takes his Corviknight, he keeps recovering, roosting. He keeps roosting, getting health back, and he's like, I'm going to play it this way. I'm going to get my kill-death ratio as good as it, or keep it even, I guess, because they ended up 3-3 tie. It doesn't hurt him, it doesn't help him, but the win helps him more than anything because it keeps him in front of the New Brunswick Ninetales, in his division. So the stalling keeps him alive for the playoff berth, so I give him props for that. Get the win however you can. Definitely need to... I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. Definitely wish that some of these matches would be finished without timer. I would love if, the timer didn't exist. But it's there. We're going to obviously investigate further what we can do on the EBL side with that. But... right now, we're going with what we got. He gets the win. He steals the timer away from Derek, and, it is what it is.
Let me go ahead and clarify something really quick since I got called out. Let me go ahead and clarify something real quick. In regards to the stalling with a Pokemon's moves, that's a strat.
Yeah.
Everyone uses it. VGC uses it. Smogon, it's there. I used it. Heck, I used it. It's not an issue. It's the other type of stalling that I'm gonna be honest, I don't really see as a strat. More on that at a later time. That's my opinion. But hey, at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is the Pokemon's moves, which is what I was referring to. Yeah. So just to clarify again, Hermit, I'm a fan of the strategy with the Corviknight because it's what I use on my own Corviknight. So it's not the Pokemon stalling that I'm referring to. That I'm
click a button. Were you saying click a button? Just click the A button.
So yeah, so just making sure that we're clear on that. Pokemon moves, they're there for a reason. Protect, freaking recover. Roost, substitute. Those are strats. It is what it is. I mean, you can't get angry. Can't get angry for that because hey, we all use them at some point. It's other things, but it's a different conversation, and we're gonna move past from that. So, is there anything else that you'd like to say for number 7? Yeah, number 7.
He's still in playoff contention. That -6 could hurt him. We'll obviously get into that a little bit when we finish the whole list, but the -6 is not looking good for the LA Inferno.
Okay. Now, moving on to number 6, we have iLoneWolf, who is the... Ooh, excuse me, I'm all gassy today, guys. I'm sorry. Number 6, we have iLoneWolf, who is the head coach of the Philadelphia Flygons, currently standing with a 2-2 with the +1. Currently 4th place in the Dynamax division. Is that right? 4th place?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How the mighty have fallen in this week. First off, Wolf, I'm really sorry that this happened to you. I'm really sorry. No friend should have to go through that. I'm really sorry. But listen, it's a strat. Can't get angry for it. It's a strat. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch that match, definitely check that out.
It won't take you long.
But give you a quick rundown as to what happened. He got swept. He got destroyed by the Kartana, by the floating freaking paper. He got destroyed by a paper with, I don't even know, it was probably, it went up +2 as its opening move. Wolf used Toxic Spike, so didn't even get damage done on it until a little bit later. Not that it mattered. And the Kartana just destroyed it just ripped apart his entire team. I'm sorry, yeah, and that's anyway, moving on from that, from being descriptive, we already know what happened. If you guys haven't seen it, of course, watch the battle. But it's the first time the EBL has seen a 6-0 sweep. So
yeah, he's on the wrong side of it.
Yeah, unfortunately. He's on the wrong side of it. But looking at other points, it's the first time the EBL has had a sweep. So I think the only other things that we're missing is what are we missing? What other type of
as far as regular matches, we've pretty much got all of those covered. You know, finishes, we've got timers, we've got no kills, we've got sweep now, we've got everything as far as regular matches. But as far as like overall records, we're gonna need a team to go winless, and we're gonna need a team to go undefeated next season, because it's not happening this season.
Wait, completely undefeated?
Completely undefeated.
And we also need someone to go winless.
Yeah, that's the only two things the EBL really needs now.
Yeah. Not that we want anyone to go through the winless part, because we all want everybody to win.
Yeah,
you know? But
as far
I guess
as
if we're
looking at it statistically, that's what the EBL would need to have all stats filled out.
Yeah. And I don't want anyone to go winless. That's bad. But yeah, there's not much more to say. Of course, his opponent was the Atlanta Braviaries, the guys who did the sweeping.
He dropped
what do you have to say?
6. I don't remember if we mentioned that. Yeah, he dropped 3 spots, 3rd to 6. KD didn't drop too much. It dropped 6 points, but luckily he was already +7, so he had built up a decent kill-death ratio. So if he does end up like losing this week and ends up in a weird tie situation, KD can come into effect, and he could be on the good side of it because the Detroit Lux race being -9. So this loss doesn't hurt him terribly. Yeah, it's a 6-0 sweep, but he could obviously bounce back from this. We've seen him dominate 2 competitors. We've seen him have a close match, and then we've seen, he's had it all this season. And I don't think we can say that for any other team, honestly, in the league. To have it all happen to him. I guess the only thing that needs to happen to him now is to have a timer match against Miami next week.
And at the end of the day, that match is not going to timer. but sorry, Wolf. But what was I gonna say? Listen, at the end of the day, Wolf clenched. He still has his playoff spot. He's in the playoffs. So
no,
he's not in the playoffs.
Yeah, that was one of the mistakes from last week.
Gosh darn it, Matt.
Only 2 teams have clinched the playoffs. We'll go over that at the end.
Okay. All right. So I apologize. Disregard what I said. I'm stupid and I don't know anything. I was going to say the other word. But, all right. So is that it for number 6 that we have to say?
Yeah.
Moving on to number 5, we have Landon, a.k.a. Infernomen, a.k.a. the Shiny King, who is the head coach of the Iowa Incineroar, currently standing at a 2-2 with a -1, 3rd place in the Mega Division. About this. Who did he face off against week 4? Was it...
It was Fus-Ro-Dab.
Fus? Yeah, it was Fus. Yeah, it was Fus, because I like this match a lot.
Yeah, game of the week for me.
Yeah, I like this match a lot. So I gotta say a couple things. Both of them played really well. First off, all right, both of them played really well. I think, despite the fact that Landon got visibly and audibly spooked a bit during his match, I think that he played really well. The important part, again, I won't get tired of saying it. The important part of a trainer is being able to adapt to your situation. And if you can, try to turn that around. I feel Landon did that. Even though he didn't end up with the victory, he still did a great job in adapting to the situation and getting more hits off, to be able to the point where he was able to disrupt the Entes from having complete control of the match. Yeah. Definitely, I definitely gotta say, him freezing that Venusaur, because Venusaur was just going crazy. All right, the Dynamax, the Gigantamax Venusaur it's crazy. So the fact that he was able to freeze it and kill it off, I'm not gonna lie, I gasped at it because I'm like, bro, that was crazy. So RNG definitely played in his favor on that one. Unfortunately, the Vanillix got taken out by the Blacephalon, I believe, right? Yeah, he got taken out by the Blacephalon. Landon even said it. Listen, if he takes out a fire type next, I'm done. But listen, at the end of the day, he pushed the battle to its limits. He brought it as close as he could, and he did an amazing job in the battle with the situation that he was in. And I gotta applaud him for that. He adapted really well. That's my thing on it. I don't know what you have to say, sir.
Yeah, he stays in 5th from last week. No movement for him. No up or down. Basically he's consistent, 2 wins, 2 losses, -1, might as well be 0, in a sense, he's done really well this season.
Oh, very well.
Very well. We didn't talk about it when we talked. Have we talked about it? I don't have my list in front of me. The play of the game came from this match, and I think that hurt the play of the game of this whole week came from this match, which is also the match of the week in my opinion. Landon sent out Quagsire on, what is that, Colossal.
Oh, yeah. And you didn't expect the Colossal.
Yeah, Fus hits Solar Beam in the sun and kills the Quagsire. I think that's the turning point of the whole match. Also, we got to mention the fact that they had a communication error, so they had to figure that out on the fly, and I think they handled it best they could. Raichu got full health back. Groudon got full health back. They allowed the Dynamax from Raichu and allowed it to just protect for 2 turns and then picked up the match from there. They handled it really well. That's been obviously talked about in the EBL League. We've talked about it, we've made decisions on how to handle that, and truth be told, that was one of the decisions that was made. You set it up the best you can. You restart the match completely, or you try to remember what moves everybody used and try to replay the match up to that point. So at that point, it's up to the 2 guys to figure out what they want to do together. They handled it really well. Professionalism from both of these guys. And obviously, the Incineroar in the top 5. I think they've been there all season too. I don't think they've been out of the top 5 at all.
No, they've done really well. I'm very proud of the Iowa Incineroar. Again, one of the underdogs that everybody was like, doubting, managed to, stay on top for the first couple of weeks of the season. Never, as you said, never left top 5. That's good. It's huge. Did they secure a playoff spot again? I'm sorry, I don't know much about that.
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Sorry.
I said earlier 2 teams, but looking at the rankings right now, or the standings right now, 3 teams have secured a spot. And like I said, we'll go over that in a second. Okay.
So, again, that's all I have to say on that. Landon, great job. You did amazing on the battle. You did the best you could. It was able to be seen. You played really well. If there's nothing else for number 5, we're going to move on to number 4. Fus-Ro-Dab, head coach of the Everglade Entes. We were just talking about it not too long ago. Happened to be the opponent of the Iowa Incineroar. Currently standing at a 2-2 with a -1. The reason that we have Fus above Landon is because he won head-to-head against the Incineroar. And currently he is in 2nd place of the Mega Division. So, on this, Fus had a strategy from the start. He was smart to put the Solar Beam on the Colossal. One thing that was mentioned that I don't think it was mentioned, and if it was mentioned in the roundups, I don't remember. But if it wasn't, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. it's funny that that the Colossal had Solar Beam, and before it did it, because Landon was saying, I don't think this could learn Solar Beam. Can it learn Solar Beam? I don't know. We'll go ahead and do it anyway. Well, you know, something like that. And then lo and behold, the thing just happened to have Solar Beam as if he spoke it into existence. So that was crazy for me when I saw the Solar Beam on the Colossal come out. I'm like, oh my goodness, talk about bad luck on that one. Yeah, that was, but still, the fact that Fus had the had the strategy to put it on there, to have him learn it. It was a great strategy. He had control throughout some of the match, albeit the times that the Incineroar took back that control, but he was able to take it right back from them and ended up with the win. So great job, Fus. You've come a long way. You've never were a bad battler to begin with, like I said, and even before I said it at the beginning of Season 1, I can tell you're going to be a hard opponent, and you're just proving everybody right with that. So great job, dude. Happy with your success so far in the competitive scene. That's all I have to say. Throwing it back to you, sir.
Shout outs to Everglade for winning one extra match than they won last year. I will give a round of applause for that. And that is not me being sarcastic. Fus was so happy about that. He was happy to have at least one extra match than he won last season. So that's why he's getting that round of applause from me. Also, he's got the MVP for the Mega Division this week with Blacephalon. I know there was some disagreement on why it was in the roundup earlier today, why Blacephalon had it instead of the Arcanine, which did a lot more damage for the New Brunswick Ninetales. The rules were set in beforehand. Obviously, everything can be looked at, but the rules state if your Pokemon has the most kills and does not die, it gets, or the most kills without a death, that Pokemon will get the MVP. And the Arcanine had 3 kills, 1 death, giving it a +2, but it died, giving the Blacephalon the MVP because it had 2 kills, 0 deaths, giving it a +2 as well. So they tie on the +2. The death takes it away from the Arcanine. Hopefully that makes sense to everyone. That's explained well. So congratulations on your first ever MVP as well. Play of the game, game of the week. Fus-Ro-Dab just did really well this week.
Agreed. And I can definitely see where the disagreement comes from when it was explained in the roundup. And heck, even not for nothing, seeing it firsthand when it actually happened, I thought to myself, yo, this orange dog is gonna get MVP. So definitely surprised that it didn't get the MVP. So I can see where the disagreements are there, 'cause, but hey, rules are rules. They can be amended at a later time, yep. Maybe not, but for right now, that's what it is. We have the Blacephalon as MVP for Fus. So again, like Matt said, great job on that. And yeah, you were saying something, sir?
Did we say that the Entei jumped up 3 spots from number 7 last week? I can't remember. In case we
did not.
He jumped up from 7 to 4 this week. So congratulations on him.
Congratulations, dude. Just congratulations. You come a long way. Absolutely legendary. I had to throw that in there.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's legendary. Everyone's are legends, but Fus just did a great job this week. All right, so leaving number 4, moving on to the top 3. Number 3 in the rankings, we have Guanaco Gaming, who's the head coach of the Miami Dragonites, currently standing at a 3-1 with the +5. Currently first place, for the week, of course. Currently first place in the Dynamax division. So I said it before, I'm gonna say it again. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah, it just wasn't the week for the Dragonites. But in a sense, I guess the Dragonites needed this because it's a wake-up call. Not only that, we'll finally put the theory to the test for the Dragonites, where they lose once to an opponent, they don't lose to that person again. So we'll definitely put, or just lose period again. We'll definitely put that to the test to see if it comes true. But I think regardless on this match, not for nothing, call me biased, whatever it is that you want. Despite the fact that Miami hasn't been playing as dominantly as they have been in previous battles, or even in the last season, the fact that they were able to bring it that close, still is amazing. The Rillaboom survived, not for nothing. I know that it was mentioned in the roundups as well this morning, but not for nothing. I actually thought the Rillaboom was going to turn things around too. I said to myself, bro, if I can get rid of this Zekrom and get rid of the Arcanine and just have the Dragouge left and still die, I'm okay with that. Regardless, the Rillaboom has been putting in a lot of work. If I'm not mistaken, it is currently in contest. It is currently one of the contenders for season MVP, along with Cinderace and Kartana as being the top 3 for it. Of course, there are other contenders as well, but the top 3 off my head, we have Kartana, Cinderace, and we have Rillaboom. So that's great. Anything you have to say, sir?
On the Miami Dragonites, 3-1 +5, obviously dropped 2 on the kill-death ratio there. Not a bad season for them, like I said earlier. They're on their back foot, and no offense to you, obviously. I don't feel like the Dragonites are coming in with that oomph and that killer instinct that they had last season. Especially last season when they fought the Braviary in the championship, and you looked at as dominant as you could have ever looked. Like, that's when people were thinking the 6-0 sweep was going to happen. Obviously, it didn't happen then, but we want to see the Dragonites come back with that dominant play style again, just not against the Braviary.
We'll do it against the Braviary. We have reason to.
Definitely got to mention they dropped from number 2 to number 3. They are one of only 3 teams that have not dropped out of the top 5 this season. That being
top 3. or top 3.
Have they not been out of the top 3? But
no, you said top 5. You said top 5. I'm just narrowing it down. Sorry.
Yeah, the Incineroar, the Dragonites, and then one other team that we will mention here shortly have not dropped out of the top 5 at all. So that's good standing to be in. The Dragonites have clinched a playoff berth, so that helps them. They could be more lax, and maybe that's what got into the Dragonites' head. They didn't have to win this one. They had already clinched last week, or the week before. So maybe they're just laying back. I'm not gonna put words in your mouth, obviously, but I know if it was me, I'd lay back, maybe try out some different stuff, knowing that I've clinched, and see what could work and what can't.
Yeah, I don't want to sound lazy or anything. I'm gonna keep it real. It wasn't a good week. We had just had the technical issues, everything being deleted. So a couple things were going on. Externally out from the EBL. Naturally, those things just happened to linger on the minds of the Dragonites, so we weren't on the A game for that week. Or we weren't on our A game. Luckily, things have been fixed and whatnot. Not too many worries externally. So we'll have to see how week 5 turns out for the Dragonites. Either way, despite a horrible week, we didn't even say it was that horrible, to be honest with you. Just despite an off week, we'll call it an off week. Despite an off week, only loss. Planned on having an only loss for the regular season. As Matt said, we clinched the playoff spot. So that's good. We don't plan on losing that, and we're gonna take the championship and destroy anybody in our way. So there's that. So that's all I have to say on the Dragonites part. Anything else?
No, I'm good on the Dragonites.
Alrighty, so moving on to number 2, we have Derek Always More Videos, who is the head coach of the Kentucky Kinglers. Again, I said it once, I said it again, I'm gonna say it one more again. How the mighty have fallen. Currently the only other undefeated team, suffered their only loss this week as well. Currently, the Kinglers are at a 3-1 with a +5, first in a mega division. So the exact same differential standings, everything as the Dragonites. Currently at number 2 for the throughout the league. One of the only teams as well to not leave the top 5, as Matt mentioned. He hasn't even dropped below top 3. That's incredible. So despite the loss, despite things not going his way, still managed to stay in top 3 of the league. So Derek, you've done an amazing job. You've definitely come a long way as a competitive battler, dude. Definitely come as a long way. Unfortunately, he was caught on the wrong end of the stall tonight, no offense, Josh. No offense. Like I said, I'm a fan of the set because I use it. I'm a fan of the set. I just thought of the name on the fly. If it's not creative, I'm sorry. I try. But the Corviknight set, he just happened to be on the wrong end of it. And at the end of the day, somebody has to counter the bunny. Josh did a great job doing it, and he secured the win. Kinglers are gonna bounce back naturally. They have a powerhouse of a team. I don't know why I did that, but anyway, they have a powerhouse of a team. They're just gonna power through and get back on the horse next week. Who do they face week 5?
They got Detroit Lux Race.
Okay, time to prepare the funeral.
I will remember you.
And make
Sorry, Max. Sorry, Max.
Time to prepare the funeral. Let's see.
I'm just saying, Max, get ready for some pineapple pizza, buddy.
It's gonna be some. What was it that my drill sergeant used to say?
Let me verify this real quick. Kinglers versus Detroit. Detroit Lux Race.
Yeah, what did my drill sergeant used to say whenever something bad was gonna happen? It's gonna be some slow singing and flower bringing today.
Also, you mentioned it. You mentioned it with the Rillaboom. The Cinderace is in the top 3 contention. It's pretty funny. Our number 3 in the power rankings has the 3rd potential to win MVP this season, with the Rillaboom being your team. Our number 2 in the power rankings has the 2nd potential to win the MVP, with Cinderace coming from the Kentucky Kinglers. And then we will get into number 1 in a second. The Kinglers did drop from number 1 to number 2. However, their KD didn't drop at all. They did clinch a playoff berth, so he can relax going into week 5. Even if he loses to Detroit, no big deal. Obviously you don't want to lose. And I know we were talking about stuff that we need for the league earlier in the video. We do need a 4-1, so we need Miami or Kentucky to go ahead and win this week.
I think both teams, the Miami or Kentucky, I think both teams are gonna get that 4-1, which is gonna make it interesting for the championship. I think.
Yeah, both of them could definitely get 4-1. I think. No offense to Max, I think the Dragonites have a tougher battle. The Flygons have, but that's not ours. That's the Roundup. Go watch theirs. They definitely handled that part. But as far as the Kinglers, 3-1 +5. You only lost the match because of timer. Like we said, click the A button, guys. Just click the A button. But besides that, I think it was still a great match overall.
No, for sure. No, for sure. Both teams did great, and again, great strat on that bird, bro. Moving on to number 1, we have Stone Family 64, who is the head coach of the Atlanta Braviary, currently standing at a 2-2 with the +6, second in the Dynamax division. Number 1 spot for the power rankings today. I wonder why, because they destroyed a certain dragon from Philadelphia. Sorry. 6-0 sweep off, and we mentioned it, 6-0 sweep, first in the EBL to do it. So congratulations to MattyIce for pulling that off. Sorry, Wolf, it had to be you, but it is what it is. That 6-0 managed to catapult Kartana to number 1 in the contention of, you know, who's going to hit season MVP. I believe it has a +6 with a 1 death, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I'd have to go and look at it specifically, but it might be. I think it's 7 kills this season and 1 death. Yeah, so +6.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that sweep definitely catapulted Kartano up for in line for the season MVP. But that's our rankings, guys. Again, we have the Atlanta Braviary as number 1, number 2 Kentucky, 3 Miami, number 4 we have the Everglade Entes, 5 Iowa Incineroar, 6 we have Philadelphia Flygon, 7 LA Inferno, 8 New Brunswick Ninetales, 9 we have the Detroit Luxrays, and 10 we have the San Diego Sylveons. And there you have it. Anything else before we close out, sir?
You didn't even let me talk about my match or my team. But
I'm terribly sorry. Let's rewind. Forget I said that. Actually, you know what? We're gonna make a cut.
No, you're good. No, you're good. Just keep it in. Do it like this, guys. All I wanted to mention was the fact that I can speak from behind the scenes. This plan was implemented Monday. Me and Wolf battled Friday. I legit looked at his team and was like, I don't think anything outspeeds Kartana. So from Monday afternoon, I was going for the sweep the whole week. So I had been talking about it all week in the Discord, the EBL Discord, and talking to the guys about sweeps and that it's never happened and stuff like that. And sure enough, I was able to pull it off. Also, this does, looking at the standings, if Atlanta loses this week, okay, and Detroit drops, or picks up the win, Atlanta cannot still drop below Detroit no matter what. And Atlanta beat the Flygons as well. So, with both of them being down there, it looks like Atlanta probably, most likely, unless I'm screwing things up again, but Atlanta should be clinched in the playoffs. So it should be the Kinglers, Dragonites, and Braviary clinched.
So basically the top 3.
and Kartana also won the weekly MVP for the Dynamax division.
There you go. And again, apologies. I thought we were done with that, so didn't mean to cut you off on that one.
No, you're good, man.
Anything else before we move on?
No, that's it.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Of course, before we close out, just a quick reminder to everybody: subscribe to all the coaches, show them some love. Their links are in the description below. Shout out to Timmy, ItsReallyTimmyB, Belly, and Lonely Hermit for the weekly roundups. Their links are in the description below, except for Belly, who lives in a Pokeball or on Josh's chair. Let's see. Subscribe to everybody. Drop the video a like. It does really help the channel out as well. And that's it for me today. Anything? No?
All right. Did you want me to go over the playoff scenarios real quick?
Yeah, if you have the time, because I know you have to be out by 8.
All right. Playoff scenarios, guys. Basically, if the Entes win on the Mega side, if the Entes win, the Entes, the Incineroar, and the Inferno all clinched, the New Brunswick Ninetales will be out. If the New Brunswick Ninetales win against the Entes, the winner of the Incineroar and Inferno match will be in. The loser will be in a 3-way tie with the Entes. So let's just hypothetically say the Incineroar win. They'll be in, and then we'll be in a 3-way tie. Entes, Inferno, and Ninetales. Out of those 3 teams, they've all beaten each other up, so no one can be ahead of each other. We're in a weird 3-way tie where everyone has beaten one of the other 3. So weird 3-way tie. It'll come down to kill death ratio at that point. So every team, all 4 of them are still in contention. As I said, the Kinglers clinched, and then moving to the Dynamax side, the Dragonites clinched. If Atlanta loses, Detroit wins. Like I said, they can't drop below them. Even if the Flygons win and the Sylveons win, yeah. Atlanta's clinched. I don't see a way for them to be out. If Detroit wins and the Sylveons lose and the Flygons lose, we're looking at a 3-way tie for them as well. Same thing from the Mega side. Basically, it'll come down to kill death ratio. So 3 teams alive from the Dynamax division and 4 teams alive still from the Mega division.
I lost a couple brain cells, I'm not gonna lie. So
it's a good thing I'm the sports fan.
It's complications all over the place, but if it wasn't complicated, it wouldn't be exciting or anything like that. Definitely what makes the EBL fun as it is right now. But that being said, guys, again, apologies if the episode seems a little bit rushed. We are in a little bit of a time crunch, so we're going to go ahead and leave it here. Thank you guys again for coming out, and I'll see you guys later.